Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life.
Today marks the 5-year anniversary of the day that I made the biggest decision in my life. I decided to leave my comfy life in Melbourne, Australia and travel the world in search of adventure, in search of a different type of lifestyle, one that I was searching for my whole life. I'm guessing you might be in the same boat. You're thinking about leaving your home country and living somewhere else. Could be for a variety of reasons. And today I'm going to cover my personal experiences over the past 5 years, my goals that I set out to achieve, to see if I've actually achieved them now 5 years later. So stay tuned if you actually are thinking about making the move to live overseas as well. So let's start with why I actually wanted to leave. You watching, you probably live in US, UK, Australia, one of these countries where the 9-to-5 work life is very accepted, right? That's what most people do. I realized very early on that we only get one chance at this life. It's not worth it if we're just going to live written by rules that society wants us to live, being a 9-to-5 wage slave, as many people call it. I didn't want that, so I thought I'm going to take some risks while I'm still young. I don't have too many debts, too many responsibilities. I decided I'm going to give it everything I've got over the next 12 months and see what happens. So that's why I decided to leave. And the first thing that fueled that was this boring life of living for the weekend, living for those 4 weeks that you get off every year. I didn't want to do that anymore. The second thing is that I hated the schedule. I hated having to set my alarm for 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on Monday morning, go somewhere, sit in traffic, be in an office inside for the whole day. And if I wanted to get an hour break or 2 hours break during the day to do something, I couldn't because I had to be in that spot. It was only until 5, 6 p.m. when I went home, then I'd be able to do what I wanted. I hated that set schedule. That wasn't freedom to me, and I wanted to find a way to get out of it. The third reason I wanted to leave is that I realized that everyone around me more or less was doing the same thing. Go to university, or you'd get a job, you'd save up money, you'd buy a house, then you'd have a family, and then you'd just be a family man, and all you do is paying off the debt for the mortgage for the rest of your life. You talk about the good old days, oh, when we were 18, 19, in our 20s, we did this, we did that, but look at this other person on YouTube who's traveling the world at 40, 45 and living the life of their dreams. That's amazing. I wish I could do that. I heard all these people who are like 10 years older than me saying this, but they were all doing the same thing, just stuck in the same cage, the same bubble. I didn't want to be that. I thought maybe traveling and seeing how other parts of the world live and meeting other people who are living these kind of dream YouTube lives might teach me something, and I can build that for myself. So those are the 3 things I didn't like about living in Australia. 1 was the living for the weekend lifestyle. 2 was the fixed schedule. And 3 was the fact that everyone around me was basically the same. No one was trying to do anything different to improve their lives. Now let's fast forward to present day, 5 years in the future. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how my life has changed since I was 29 years old living in Melbourne, Australia. So let's talk about number 1, the living for the weekend lifestyle. For a long time, I used to say most hated day is Monday. I used to have anxiety on Sunday night, having to set my alarm and being like, oh, here comes another week. The weekend is over. And now I'm going to have to do 5 days again until I actually can do stuff that I want to do. Now I have the opposite feeling. Day that I hate the most in the week is Sunday, because that's the day where everyone's relaxing and no one's responding to messages, so I can't work. I actually love working now because I have my own businesses. I've been able to start that because of the low cost of living where I live here in Colombia. For a couple of years, I just focused everything on my business and to build some ways to make money online. So now I look forward to Mondays. I love Mondays because that's when all my clients are responding and I can continue to grow my business. And how many hours do I need to work a week now? Well, if you click this video, you can actually see my whole weekly schedule. But just to summarize, I only need to work about 8 hours a week to sustain the type of lifestyle that I have in Medellin, Colombia. I work a lot more than that, maybe 40, 50, 60 hours a week, but I do that because I want to, not because I have to. I like growing my business. I like learning about advertising, marketing, and creating new products and helping other people create their dream lives by moving overseas too, by moving to Medellin. I do that because I want to, not because I'm forced to. The first problem I had has been solved. I no longer live for the weekend. Anytime I want to go away or travel or do something that I want to do, I do it. My Monday mornings normally start with going to the tennis court, catching up with a mate and playing tennis for 2 or 3 hours. And then I'll come back, maybe I'll have lunch with my girlfriend, and then I'll start working whenever I want. No fixed schedule. And that's point 2. I don't have to set an alarm anymore. There's many days where I don't have a meeting or something in the morning, so I just wake up whenever. I have no alarms and I'm completely free to do what I want whenever I want. I set my own schedule. And a big reason for that has been the low cost of living, right? The low cost of living, being able to live on about $1,500 a month, is the reason that I don't have to work so much, and also the reason that I was able to keep my expenses so low for the first year when I was trying to figure out this entrepreneur lifestyle and create my businesses. And my number 3 issue that I had when living in Melbourne is that everyone was the same. No one that I met was really doing anything different than just accept that life was this construct that society had built for us. As I said before, get the education or get a job, buy a house and live in debt for the rest of your life, have a family and be a boring old guy. I didn't want that, and being in Medellin and traveling and meeting people like this has opened up my mind to how much money can be made and the great type of lifestyle that you can live. Remember, I told you before that we'd watch these YouTubers online living in all parts of the world, traveling and making money to do it. Meeting people has opened up my mind and given me the hope, and a lot of these people that I've met in my travels and met in Medellin have helped me on my journey and have taught me these skills. And that's how I've been able to build this life for myself as well. I would say 5 years later, best decision of my life. Honestly, I wouldn't change it for anything. There have been a lot of struggles, mainly trying to find a way to make online income. That has been hard. I've struggled a lot, done a lot of jobs for like $2, $5. I really did those jobs to get experience and to get my money up. But eventually I've been able to get to a place now where I can sustain this type of lifestyle and save a bit of money through all the different online work opportunities that I have. And hopefully you watching, if you're thinking about doing it too, give it a shot. Maybe just set like a timeline, 6 months or a year, have some savings, and then go and do it. Give it a crack. If it doesn't work out, doesn't matter. You can always go back to that same type of lifestyle that you had that's always waiting for you. By the way, if you need some help moving to Medellin, I have a free ebook. The link is in the description. Just click that. It's called the Medellin Relocation Guide. It's going to give you info about all the things you need to know about moving to Medellin. And as I said before, I have a full breakdown of my weekly schedule living here in Medellin, Colombia. If you want to see that, just click this video here and check out how good life is.